So the Cincinnati Bengals are actually going to be using new helmets during training camp this year. And this is to help with injuries and concussions. So here's what the article has to say. The Bengals quarterbacks are wearing position specific helmets to mitigate the risk of concussions caused by the ground. The passers never had a logged concussion in college or the NFL, but better safe than sorry. And these are what the new helmets look like for the quarterbacks. It actually looks a tad bit like bigger around their head, and I think the reason why is because, as you can see right here, the black padding. I think it's padding literally all over here. So it's like 99% of the head is covered in padding. And that makes perfect sense. Again, you don't want Joey B to get, concussion, get hurt in any way. Obviously, Trevor Siemian, Browning, you don't want any chance of any quarterback going down. You got to think, I mean, this is literally our team right here. If theirs goes down, you lost your team. So with that being said, does make sense. But let's go ahead and take a look at some pictures from the whole training camp from yesterday. Actually, I had to click on this. My bad, guys. And there we go. So now we can actually pull up some pictures from training camp. So our first picture we have here is actually undrafted player Jackson Kirkland. I'm trying to make this a tad bit bigger here. There we go. Now we can actually see it a little bit better. This first player is Jackson Kirkland. He was the undrafted guard out of college. I say guard, but he's also tackle. He can play pretty much anything. And based on what we understand, he was supposed to be a top 10 pick 2 years ago. But then he had injury concerns and injury problems. So he ended up staying in college. And now he is here. And this could be a really amazing player. Because, again, what was the problem last year in the playoffs? Depth at the offensive line position. You now have a guy who can play guard, right tackle, and left tackle. Should be interesting. Second guy we have here is our new punter, Brad Robbins, arriving. Now, of course, I said new punter, but obviously Drew Chrisman is still fighting for the job. But I think everyone at this moment of time wants Brad Robbins here. We have Joey B with that headband, man. That headband! Oh, that headband. I remember earlier this offseason when that headband literally made so much waves. So many people talked about that headband. We got DJ Turner, second round pick, getting ready to go. So I believe all the veterans arrived yesterday. Well, today as I'm making this video, but yesterday, by the time you're watching this video. And the rookies arrived, I think, on Friday. They arrived one day before veterans. Oh, Saturday, one day before veterans. All right, next picture we have here is Shedrick Jackson, another undrafted player. I got a couple comments of my thoughts and opinions about him. I think he could be a really good player in the NFL. I think he will end up becoming a practice squad guy. I could see the Bengals keeping him on their practice squad. I don't think he'll make the 53-man roster, right? Because obviously after, Charlie Jones, it goes Andre, Stanley Morgan, there's Trenton Irwin. Is it possible he sneaks his way in there? It's possible. But I feel like, especially because, I talked about recently how Stanley Morgan could get cut. I think they do really like Andre. And he was a 7th round pick, so it's not like there's too much capital invested in him. But if they like him, they're probably only going to carry one more receiver, because that's your 6th receiver. So that would be between Stanley Morgan, Jackson here, or obviously the last guy being Trenton Irwin. Joey B. And we got, okay, so what we got here? We got a Charlie Jones catch. Wide receiver Troy Walters is in the background. Can't wait to see how Charlie Jones develops. If you watch my Madden series of all going through every single game and playing every single game, Charlie Jones was an absolute monster for us in that series. Myles Murphy running a drill. Cannot wait to see him become an absolute superstar. There's our number 1 running back. Future number 1 running back, Chase Brown. Jordan Battle, who is getting a lot more play time still, even in training camp. He's going to get a lot more play time because Nick Scott. So, love to see it. And as he said himself, it's actually really good for him because it gets more communication between the defensive players. Safety, Larry Brooks. Okay. I guess undrafted guy. DJ Turner the second. Okay, let's go. We got Chase Brown running another drill. We got Carter catching a pass. Again, a lot of these guys end up being practice squad or just not making the roster. But keep in mind, though, a lot of these guys are going to play in the preseason, right? Most of them are. And when they play in the preseason, they have a big play in the preseason, they can make a 53-man roster off of one big play. Maybe not our 53-man roster, but they can make a 53-man roster off of one crazy big play in preseason. So some of these guys we're talking about here, they might be on teams this year, and you might hear about them later on. Got my man right there, D tackle. Another one here. I'm not saying his name because I said his name long before, and somebody said, they're like, you butchered his name. I'm like, I'm never saying his name again then. I'm never saying it again. Shaka Hayward. See, I butcher all these guys' names. I'm going to have to learn how to say every single... By the end of this season, guys, I promise you one thing. I will know how to say every single player's name perfectly inside and out. And I can't promise after that for the next season that I get them perfect yet. But you know what? Whatever. Alright, so those are all the pictures we have from training camp. Well, I'd say training camp, but right now it's more or less just like they're doing conditioning exercises. So I think training camp technically starts on 26, but they're doing like practices, small drills, nothing too crazy insane. But tell me down below your thoughts and opinions though, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.